Mike and Andy here for GetConnected. I think one of the big announcements from Apple would have to be the new Apple Pay feature. This is something I think that a lot of us have been expecting to come for a while, but I think it takes mobile payments to an entire new level. You know, we've seen phones from Samsung and others have the built-in NFC chip that would allow transaction-based stuff. Now, finally, Apple has built it in, but they've actually got the entire system working around it, which I think is the big thing.
Mike, you and I, we've talked about mobile wallets for almost 2 years now, and we kept saying it's not going to take off until Apple got into the game, and they did. And I thought it was going to be called the iWallet, but of course, they're using the different type of branding now, which we saw across the board of today's announcement. But it was exactly what they needed. It looks beautiful. But I have only one big concern, and it's always been, I know that this has better battery life, but if all your credit cards are into your phone and you're out at clubbing and you're 2, 3 in the morning, you're looking to get some pizza and your phone dies and you don't have a backup credit card, you're going to be out of luck.
I think we'll see a lot of merchants now actually have iPhone charging cables built into the cash counter. So some of the features that make this really amazing to me is that it does tie into the Passbook app and your iTunes account. So any credit cards that you have in iTunes account will be accessible. Apparently, you can also take pictures of your credit cards and have them into the Apple iPhone as well. They've made deals with MasterCard, American Express,
McDonald's,
Visa, all these retailers like McDonald's, Subway, Starbucks, all the major department stores, even Staples as well. And apparently it's much more secure as well. So Apple is not actually storing all the credit card information in the security codes, nor will they know how much you're paying the different merchants as well. They're just providing kind of the conduit to make that happen. So you can take your iPhone up to that little NFC reader in the retail store and tap it and you're done.
They're basically changing the whole transaction aspects on the back end for this to happen, because for a lot of people, privacy concerns was going to be huge if they were ever going to put their credit cards into their phones. And we've always said this, people are like, well, what happens if you lose your phone? And we used to always say, well, what happens when you lose your wallet? That has that same kind of security. But by being completely anonymous, where they don't know where you went or what kind of transactions you were making, it might appeal to people that were hesitant of using mobile wallets.
Yeah, you know, you brought up a great point about the battery life. I think that is a huge concern, but if you look at some of the specs on the new Apple iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, the battery life is supposed to be better. I think we just have to be cognizant of when we're carrying our phones that if our wallet is in it, we have to make sure that they're charged.
But you always have to remember, whenever they give you specs about battery life, they say it with everything else turned off. So they said 11 hours of video playing you could do on the new iPhone 6, but if you're the type of person that has WhatsApp and all these other things that are constantly talking to the towers, you're not going to get 11 hours, I'll tell you that.
Maybe it'll help reduce my spending. Apple Pay, a new feature from Apple that will really change how we do transactions in the physical world and also online as well.